Welcome to The System Works, the lifestyle channel that shows you a practical way to live, the what's in it for you. The System Works. Own it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The System Works. I'm your host, Ernest Phillips, and we've got a game changer of an episode today. And I mean a game changer. And when I mean game changer, I'm talking if this one thing got implemented and I got credit for it, I might get the Nobel Peace Prize. Seriously, I think I might get that, because if this gets implemented, the divorce rate goes even lower. Children out of wedlock, that gets decreased. Teen pregnancy decreased. The reverberations of this changing the world, absolutely one episode. So here we go. All right. What is the purpose of marriage? Okay. Now, I've heard a bunch. I've heard because we're supposed to, financial survival, because he asked. I've watched one couple, and the reality, in all honesty, the reason she got married to a particular guy is, and I quote, "He has a stable job and he's never beat me." Like, right. Okay, for the kids to raise, so they can love me, all types of reasons. What if we change the definition of the why, of the purpose of a marriage? What if a marriage was about only two things? You loving that other person the best you can for the rest of your life, and you receiving love from that person the best you can for the rest of your life. How easy does that sound? How simple does that sound? Okay, for a lot of you, simple, yes. Easy, no. So, of course, I got to tell you a story so we can drive this home. There's a client, and they had been married for about 15 plus years, 2 kids, and she is unhappy. She's miserable. They fight all the time. And they get separated. She moves out. She's getting ready to file for divorce. And fortunately for her and me and him and the kids, I was able to be a last resort for coaching. And a lot of times when I work with married couples, I usually only work with one person, whoever is willing. And it's amazing of what happens. And so I worked with her, and one of the main reasons why a lot of people in that situation will do the coaching is I want to make sure this is not going to work, so I don't have to feel guilty about leaving. And that's a fair thing, and I encourage everybody to make sure they do that, because the people who end a marriage before it is ready to be ended, as in when it can be reconciled, they have massive guilt, and they do not, it's a bad thing. Okay, so we do the coaching, and I started her off with that concept, and I started her with loving him for just who he is. And we went down the list of his positives, and he's a great provider, and he's good with the kids. He loves the kids. Of course, he's not as good with the kids as she is. Of course, he's not doing it the way she wants, and that's very normal. But she started to pay attention to some of the other things that she did like about him in the beginning. And if you've seen my one of my other episodes about one of the happy killers, total happy killer in her world, she started to change what she wanted from him. She started to change what she wanted from marriage, which again is an okay thing. However, she was judging him for anything that he wasn't going to do and that he couldn't do. And she started to soften because she started to see the amount of effort he was putting into the family, into himself, and into her. Then came the time to say, okay, now it's your turn to get better at receiving. And this was a brutal process for her. And as it came out, as one of the struggles was, in the things that she was appreciative about him, was her insecurity was massive about the weight she'd gained. She'd gained weight after marriage. She'd gained weight after the kids, and she was insecure about it. She felt unattractive. She didn't feel sexy, and she absolutely, that insecurity got put on him. He doesn't see her that way. He doesn't think she is. And that was a source of a lot of her fights, a lot of her frustration. And here's the thing, never once did he say that. But she absolutely believed it till the day was long, and it just infiltrated. But that was her insecurity. And so we challenged her to work on receiving and accepting and seeing from his eyes herself. What does he see? And he still found her beautiful. He still gave her compliments. And all of that was getting pushed aside because she was having a difficult time receiving the love that he was giving and having a hard time giving the love back and forth. So, what happened after that? I know, people like to know. She called off the divorce, and now they don't fight, and now they are a happy family again. And it's so cool to watch. She is more relaxed, and here's a crazy notion, she started to lose weight because she wasn't so stressed about the weight. And now, does that change how much he looks at her? She has told me no. And that is a really cool thing. So, what's the tug tip for this? Change the definition, change your world. Here's the action step. Go back to the basics. Go back to the beginning. It's one of my favorite lines from Princess Bride. You told me to go back to the beginning, and here we are. The beginning of the relationship is you're just trying to love that other person for who they are. And you're trying to receive all the love that they're giving you. And that's how it starts. Go back to the basics. I cannot overstate how amazing this step is in your marriage. I can't overstate it. So try it. And then maybe I'll get that Nobel Peace Prize after all. We'll see you soon. We hope you enjoyed this episode of The System Works. Have fun with the action steps. Enjoy the Wi-Fis. Click like, click subscribe, and comment. The good and the bad, we like them all. We look forward to seeing you next time. The System Works. Own it.